ready for another episode of
Slightly Burnt Toast.
Yay. We don't even eat that much bread.
No, we don't eat any bread. Also, the loaf of bread we had was expired, so I threw it out.
Oh. I eat bread. Nutella.
Yeah, but that one loaf that we had was here for over a week past its expiration, so I threw it out.
Yeah, buns go bad. Bad buns are no good.
Nobody likes bad buns.
Nobody likes bad buns. I want fresh hot buns.
Ain't no buns for you. Well, welcome back, everyone. If you're new here, I'm Samantha.
And I'm Albert.
And we are married.
Oh,
and
shit.
We decided to start a podcast so that we could spend more quality time together.
Yeah, just talking about random stuff. Super fun.
Super fun.
Super fun.
You said that in such like a monotone way.
Super fun.
It's so fun. He's just like rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, I love talking.
Well, a lot of people have been telling Albert at work apparently that he has a podcast-like voice without
Which
even
is
knowing.
weird because when I hear myself talking, I hate it.
Oh, I feel like that's normal for a lot of people though, because like especially if you're on camera for the first time or you're recording something, you listen back and you're like, ugh, brother, I sound like that.
Yeah, it's terrible when you hear yourself talking.
Well, I always tell Albert that he has a very like sexy, deep surfer voice, but he hates that.
Well, I mean, you calling me a surfer voice is kind of just like saying you sound like an idiot.
Surfer. Okay, I feel like we've had a conversation about this before. They're not idiots.
Okay, yeah. I guess it's wrong for me to generalize.
Yeah. They're just living their lives. You just have like a nice deep voice that's really good for like radio or podcasting.
Right, that's not the same thing as a surfer voice.
I don't know. The first thing I thought when I met you was like, oh, he kind of has like a deep surfer boy voice. Like, what's up, dude? Actually, yeah, I see what you mean.
What the heck was that?
I see what you mean. Let me just take that back.
I was like, you gave me like a beach bum like voice.
I don't know. I like your voice. That's one of the first things that like caught my attention.
Oh, okay. I mean, we did get married, so the voice worked out.
The voice worked out. If you guys are curious about our love story, just tune into episode 1 because we go into detail with that.
Yeah, we should probably like redo it every once in a while to see how our memory ever changes, because you know how unreliable memory is.
I mean, we haven't recorded that many podcasts, so maybe like if this really takes off further down the line, or you guys can tell us if like.
Oh my god! I hope this does not turn into Jada Smith's like crazy, like table room talk where she spills
table
all
talk
of her secrets just with the whole world, and the kids are just like, "What the?"
It's just such an awkward show.
It's like stuff you should not do.
Yeah, like stuff that you shouldn't. Like I get that they're celebrities, and I guess her whole thing is about being vulnerable and like honest and open, but the things they talk about with their kids on that show is just so strange. Like I would feel so uncomfortable listening to my parents talk about their sex life and like the ups and downs of their relationship. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, props to them for having that conversation, but I feel like Will Smith should have just left ages ago.
Well, he's not perfect either. I know
he's not perfect because he did not leave ages ago. He just stayed.
They're just both weird individuals, and like I think she has like her mom on that podcast too, or is it her or his mom? Like I don't know who the old lady is.
Oh my god, if I was Will Smith's mom like on the podcast and I found out that you cheated on someone, like you just slept with somebody else, and my son was like the one you had originally married, so you basically cheated on them, I would be so mad.
Are you talking about Jada Smith? I guess she cheated a bunch, didn't she?
Yeah.
Didn't he cheat too, though?
I don't know, probably.
I feel like they both kind of had an open marriage that they just didn't tell everybody about.
Oh.
Or maybe like he wasn't aware that they had an open marriage, but she thought they were having an open marriage.
I remember seeing like an episode somewhere or like an interview where Jada Smith is talking about her, like, I guess open marriage kind of conversation, and Will Smith just looked so sad. He looked like he was trying not to cry.
She's not the nicest person to him. When I watched those episodes, like there's this kind of fake aura of like I accept you, or like, we just need to keep an open mind, blah blah blah, the kind of bullshit. But yeah. I feel like it's all fake.
I feel like if I was a horrible person, and I don't know if she's a horrible person, right? I'm just totally generalizing here. I've never met her in person. that if I wanted to get away with something, I'd be like, you're gonna keep an open mind.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to like force someone to, I guess, quote unquote, understand your perspective. I don't know if she's a bad person. She might just be someone who is just really set in her own perspective. And you know, like when you meet certain people where they really push their perspective on you and they like twist and turn arguments so that they're always right.
Gaslighting.
I don't know.
That's what
is that
I don't know.
gaslighting?
I
Maybe
guess
she's a
gaslighting is
gaslighter.
like kind of on the extreme end of things, but
Anyway,
yeah,
it's a
I don't
weird
know.
show.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. It kind of like makes me annoyed.
Which is why I don't want to go into like super deep conversations with these. I'd rather like keep it.
It's not like we go into super deep conversations. If you're a new listener, we don't.
Yeah.
We really don't. It's very surface level.
No, I'm just saying, as like a as a new thing, let's just keep this in mind to not become Jada Smith and Will Smith.
That's our goal. That's our goal. Just don't become Jada Smith. I think that's pretty easy though.
Yeah, I mean the standard is not that high.
The standard's not that high, no. And
Like in certain things. I mean, she's a very successful woman. Like, let's agree on that. But we don't need to have family conversations.
No, and I don't think that's the purpose of our podcast anyway. I think like we just have very fun conversations, just the two of us, and figure why not record it, right? I don't think this is going to be a very deep convo kind of episode. Maybe we'll have like one or two. You know what I was thinking of? I was listening to our favorite podcasters. My favorite podcasters, you know, that couple that's really funny on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, they don't do that. Sorry, I was listening to another podcast where it's a husband and wife podcast, but there's also episodes, like few and far between, but there's some episodes where you just solo episode it. And it's quite interesting to have that mix because then you don't have the two-way conversations and you can just really talk about.
Talk to themselves?
Yeah.
That's
well,
what I
no,
would
we're
do.
talking to the listener about anything that you want. So you don't need to clear any topic with me. You could just kind of take the mic and just have a conversation.
Oh, that sounds like schizophrenia.
It's not schizophrenia. We should try that, actually. I think that'd be kind of
I'm
fun.
going to talk to myself in third person.
Yeah.
Just like, what Elbert would do. What would Elbert do?
WWED. Not what Jesus would do. What would Elbert do?
Yeah.
Yeah, WWED.
W-wed.
Wed.
Ooh, wed.
I feel like we should do that. It would be kind of fun.
Visit.
What
would Sam do?
What would Sam and Albert do?
Probably something
What's
very
it
stupid without thinking about it.
Wait, me or you?
No, me, definitely. You would overthink it for sure.
Oh, rude.
Yeah.
We should do that, actually. That could be kind of fun. I'd be down
What,
for
just
that.
talk to myself?
No, just like have an episode, like have
Where I
solo
talk to
episodes once in a
myself?
while.
Oh, I get it. You don't want to talk to me anymore. I get you.
No,
it's
I like
only
talking
been like
to you.
2.5 years and you're already like, I'm going to go talk to myself.
Do you know that I read something that said people who talk to themselves are actually geniuses?
Oh my God. I talk to myself all the time when I'm working.
Me too. So I think we're geniuses.
We're psychos. Holy
No,
shit.
do you not hear what I said? I said we're geniuses, not psychos.
Most geniuses are kind of crazy.
Okay, whatever. We're geniuses. Let's just
You ever
keep it to
seen
that.
a genius that wasn't kind of insane? I mean, aside from Bill Gates, he's just a really smart guy. I guess he's.
I don't think he's
kind of-
insane.
No, he's a very smart guy.
Actually, to be like a pioneer or an innovator or someone who's a creative, I feel like you need a little bit of insanity. You need a little bit of Delulu. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I'll take that.
Just don't go too far. Just don't go off the deep end.
Yeah. But I'll take the little bit of Delulu.
Like
fine with
who went a little bit too Delulu?
Delulu.
Delulu. Anyway, yeah, who went too far? There's some people that definitely went too far.
I mean, I don't know if there was success. Oh, the lady that we watched on that show, the female scientist who conned everyone with her fake machine.
Oh fuck, I don't know her name.
Yeah. Well, Amanda Seyfried
Elizabeth
played her.
Holmes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She was Delulu too far.
Yes.
Very much so.
Talking with her deep voice.
Yeah. Which is
that
such a
was
waste.
weird-
We were watching that and we're just like, Albert and I were just talking about what a waste of talent, because I feel like if she was just patient, she could have achieved what she was trying to achieve properly.
Probably, but she was kind of committing investor fraud by lying and stuff and probably went too far. And if
Yeah.
she didn't lie further or at least pull some sort of result that was not happening, because all the people around there were kind of like, you know, this isn't feasible with the timeline that you're setting
Well,
up,
except her partner. Her partner was also, well, I don't think he was Delulu. I think he was just okay with it.
We don't know the full story, obviously, but based on the show, it seems like he kind of knew that she was in too deep to a certain extent.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, who else? There's lots of people that went like crazy.
She's
like
the first
Michael
one
Jackson was like a little bit weird by the end of it.
A little bit. Michael Jackson was really weird. Not by the end of it. He was just
like
really
halfway
weird
through
it. But he was always quite eccentric, though.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, from what I've read, very traumatized person.
Yeah, kind of makes me sad, actually.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't made a biopic of him.
They probably have. We probably just haven't seen it.
You think?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm talking about something like what they did with Queen with Rami Malek.
Oh, like a movie, you mean?
Like a movie, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I would watch that. That would be pretty good. Controversial, pretty good. There's like 3 Elvis shows. Like, we don't need 3.
Yeah, I mean, Elvis definitely went off the deep end.
I feel like all the artists, all these huge names, just got into drugs and
went
then
crazy. Who else? I feel like there's lots of like.
Well, like Amy Winehouse is a new movie that's coming out soon this year.
Amy Winehouse is a person. She's not a movie. I'm just saying, you know. Stop objectifying these women.
Objectifying.
I can't talk right now.
It's okay. You had like a full day of work.
Every functioning adult has a full day of work, except
Fair.
for the really rich people. Then they don't work.
Then they just play golf all day.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Anyway, we went camping and that was so fun. So some context for you guys. I am very much a city girl. I'm not a camper at all. And Elbert is someone who loves nature. He loves being outdoors. He's very adventurous. And he does like camping, I guess, was one of his hobbies before we started dating. And so the first time that we went camping was, I think, in our second year of dating.
It was definitely like a lot later.
A lot later?
Like 4th.
No, honey. It's definitely not the 4th. Are you
talking about the music festival or like actual camping?
No, I'm talking about the first time we went camping at Cascade Peninsula.
Yeah, probably like 3rd or 4th year.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was our first or second year.
No, dude, we've been together for like 10 years.
Wow.
We went on the music festival in our second year.
Okay, so anyway, we went camping once. And then we just
to this time, yeah.
We just didn't go back.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. We literally camped right on front of the water at the lake. And it was just like, oh my God, you woke up and you're just like, water.
It was just different for me, okay? So I don't camp. I very much like to be clean. I like to have a toilet that has running water. I like a toilet that flushes. I don't like peeing on the ground. I like having a shower. I don't like being cold at night and then really, really hot in the day. Basically, it's a new experience for me, okay? So basically, we didn't go camping after that until this year. So we had just gotten back from our second camping trip together like a week ago.
No, it was like this weekend. It was like 3 days ago.
Oh my God, it felt like a year ago. Okay, anyway, yes. We just got back from camping. We wanted to record a podcast when we were camping. It didn't work out because
no dongle.
No dongle, and I thought I could use my microphone and connect to Spotify podcasters, but lo and behold, you need Wi-Fi for that, and we didn't have Wi-Fi. So here we are.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah, the whole world of hyper-connectedness is... It's good to get away from that once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this experience camping, in my perspective, was much more pleasant than the first time we went camping.
Because there was a flush toilet.
Because there was a flush toilet.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it is life-changing when you know you can go to the toilet in peace. Like, if I had to go number 2, I don't have to worry about shitting in the ground, right? I knew that there was a safe space with running water and soap, you guys, that I could use. So that actually, like, changed my perspective a lot. Like, once we got to this campsite, I checked the toilet, and I was just really happy that there was a flush option.
Yeah. So if anyone's like curious where we went, Manning Park has a lot of campsites, and it is a very well maintained area of BC. And honestly, like some campsite, maybe not some. I think like one campsite there has full like shower setups and everything. So.
Yeah. And I had actually did this to myself because Albert's birthday was in February, and I was like, you know what, I want to get him a very thoughtful gift. And I know that he's been wanting to go camping every year. And
camping
every
with
year...
You. I've gone camping a handful of times.
Okay, let's specify with me. So I knew that was like something he wanted to do, and I kind of felt bad that the reason we haven't gone camping for so long is because I've always just I've just ignored whenever he like brings it up. I'm like, and he never gets it done anyway. So I figure like, you know what, I'm gonna be a good wife, a great wife, and book a camping spot for his birthday gift.
We should go hiking next week too.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many of my hobbies that you're just not down for because you are just the modern city girl.
What are you talking about? I've been hiking with you.
But you don't come on the fun hikes with me.
What are you talking about? How do you determine what is fun hikes?
Like 3 hours up minimum with just a huge lake that most people don't ever get to see.
Why do I have to subject my body to that when I can get the same amount of enjoyment, if not more, in like an hour hike? Why must you put me through this to have fun? Just because it's longer and more strenuous doesn't mean it's more fun.
Don't you like the challenging aspect of it though?
It's challenging for me to do the 1 hour hike.
No, yeah, I'm just saying we'll work up to the 3 hour one-way hike. Round trip, 6 hours.
This like brings me
like
back.
Garibaldi, come on, we need to go and do Garibaldi at least.
I have PTSD from that one time we went hiking at Northern Falls. If you're in Vancouver, this is a hike in North Vancouver.
Hike.
He says it's an easy hike. Okay, it is not. It is a very
it's just
long.
a long walk.
Like, wasn't it a total of like 6 hours? Round trip? Or is it 7 hours?
Yeah, it's just a long walk.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
like 5.5 hours.
But this was when we were like still dating, and I had asked him, I was like, okay, like how hard is this hike? He was like, easy. And I was like, how long is this hike? He was like, not that long. And then we're on this hike walking for God knows how long. And I'm like, okay, like are we there yet? And he's like, yeah, almost. And then like 5 hours later.
To be fair, there's like no grading in that hike. There's no like incline anywhere.
Anyway, from that point on, I don't believe you when you tell me a hike is easy.
Oh, but we went to Joffrey Lake and you thought that was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's fun.
Did you like the chief?
No,
You
I
didn't
did
like
not.
the chief like
I
at
wanted
all?
to die like every step I took. Like I told you this. I'm like proud of myself that I somehow managed to like not die on that hike. But the reason why I was like kind of ahead of you guys and I just kept going is because every single step I took, I was like, I can't stop because if I stop, I'm not going to make it. So I had to keep going. And by the time we finished that hike, I was like, I'm never doing this ever again.
Don't worry, we'll go back.
You can go. I'm not going with you.
Come on, it's not that bad.
Go with your friends.
Plus the view's like amazing.
Why do you have to go with me?
I don't know. It kind of like because their wives and girlfriends all go. And then I'm like, wish my wife was here too.
Honey, I went with you. We invited your friends. They didn't come. Okay, other people came.
Well, Lucas and Sherry came.
Yeah. So I went with our friends.
Yeah.
If you miss me so much, just like print a cutout of my head and bring it with you.
Oh my God. Boo. Terrible idea.
Anyway, going back to camping, it was great. I'm pretty sure not pretty sure. I know for a fact that 2 nights is my max. So like the first night I had a really good sleep because we had a really cozy setup. Like we got an air mattress. Actually, no, I got an air mattress from Amazon again for his Christmas gift.
Yeah.
I'm just supporting your hobby. So never say I don't support your hobby because I literally put this all together for you.
Thank you. We should go camping next weekend.
I put up
have
a TikTok.
all the gear now, so.
I put up a TikTok video of me camping, and it was just like I was just poking fun at it. And I said that if I got 1 million likes on TikTok, I would go camping every single week.
I mean, you put the number really high.
I know. I did that on purpose because I was like, what if it actually does go viral? And I just wanted to protect myself, so I put it at 1 million.
Yeah. I tried getting my friends to share it, but it was on Instagram, so.
I know. Again, I did it on purpose.
Uh-huh.
Because I was like, let's make things like not actually happen. What did you think of the camping trip? Like, what was your favorite part?
That was nice. Just being away. Cooking.
Yeah,
In the
you're
forest.
a great cook.
Eating. In the forest.
What was your favorite part?
Chilling in the forest.
Okay.
I don't know. I like quiet stuff.
You're a simple man.
Yeah, I just like being there.
You were chill. Like I could see that you were having a good time just like sitting
Drinking.
and drinking and just being by the campfire. He was a very good cook. Like Albert made this like pork, was it pork or beef?
Beef.
Like galbi marinade, and that was really good.
I bought the marinade.
Whatever. I'm just going to say you made it because it was whatever. No one will know.
Okay. I mean, the world knows because I just said it.
Yeah, but what if no one listens to this episode so no one will know?
Oh, shit. Wow. Just shooting it down. Got it.
I'm just kidding. And it was fun. It was a good time. I feel like the disconnecting from the world aspect of it, very interesting. And Albert and I were having a conversation about this on the way back, is that you're forced to be very present in the moment. And because your devices are not working because there's no Wi-Fi. I think there was a moment in time where I was actually scrolling on my phone, because I usually scroll through TikTok, I scroll through social media, just kind of relax, which in retrospect doesn't sound very healthy, but I couldn't. And so I was just scrolling through my apps. Like I wasn't just doing nothing. I was just looking at my apps, not like they were working, just to like create that movement that I'm used to.
Yeah. You just gotta like shut your brain down. I realize it's harder for, I don't know if it's just you or all women, but
no, I don't think it's a
just
women
turn it
thing.
down.
I think it's a personality thing. Like I'm someone who likes to be occupied, and I find that being productive makes me happy. But sometimes what being productive means, it means like having multiple things going on at the same time. Like, you know, like when we're at home, we're watching TV, I'm on my phone on
that's
social
not
media.
being productive. That's just being overwhelmed with many things happening at once. But it's like, again, one of those things where if you're doing 10 things at the same time, how do you know that you're doing even one of them like very well?
Well, I like to like I like to switch my brain on different tasks pretty frequently. That's how I give my brain a reset to think about.
You know,
I'm
there's a
looking at your
term for
face.
that, right?
Okay, you're different. You work differently than me, so you can't say that your way is better.
No. I'm saying there's a term for people who like constantly need
What,
to switch.
ADHD?
Yes.
I just like doing it. Okay. Let me live my life.
Yeah,
Anyway, what was my
I'm
point?
just saying. I don't know where you're going with it.
What I was trying to say is that it was an interesting feeling. Like I kind of liked it, but I also kind of didn't like the fact that, because like, okay, to be honest, I felt two emotions. I felt peace because I was like, okay, I'll just like sit here and stare at the fire. But then the other side of me felt like bored. Like I was just like, I feel like going to sleep because I'm just staring at this fire.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? So there's two different conflicting emotions.
Yeah. I guess the main thing is it's okay to be bored and just do nothing with. So I think the important part is that you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, like, because when you're doing too much, sometimes you just don't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we always need that reset, right? So I'm not saying that I hated it. I'm just saying that it was a very interesting experience, feeling that forced disconnection from, I guess, the world. But then you get a huge rush whenever you get Wi-Fi randomly. Like we got Wi-Fi randomly at like 3 a.m. or something. My phone started going off. I was like, that's weird.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard my phone going off that night when I really had to pee like a gazillion times. But it's a rush of emotions when you suddenly get reception back and you're like, wow, so much has happened, when in actuality probably not that much.
Yeah. I think nowadays the world is kind of so noisy in the sense that there's stimulus everywhere, that there's a lot happening, but it's hard to tell if it's like quality stuff happening.
Yeah. Or is it just stuff to like occupy your brain, right?
Yeah, but it's like kind of meaningless stuff that occupies your brain.
Oh.
Like there's not a lot of value, I would say, to scrolling like YouTube shorts.
I find value in that.
What's the
I feel like
value
as a creative, I find enjoyment watching. It's entertainment, right? I find enjoyment watching how like other people create content. Sometimes the content I watch has value. You watch videos of people cutting up like meat, That's because you find value and entertainment from it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't discount, like...
Yeah. Okay. Fair
right?
enough. Fair enough.
Literally what we're doing right now is filming or recording a podcast for someone to like tune in and listen to for entertainment purposes.
I don't expect them to listen to this.
Anyway, so today we're gonna segue. Today we're going to talk about love languages, actually, and it's actually been a topic that we've been pushing back a little bit because there's just like other topics to talk about. But I thought it'd be quite interesting to just have a conversation about the love languages that there are and how, as a couple, sometimes people have similar love languages, and like the way they receive love and give love is very similar, and so the likelihood that there is miscommunication, I guess, is lower because everyone feels love. But for the most part, a lot of individuals have different love languages, and not a lot of people, or like not all, actually communicate the fact that they have different love languages and they need to be loved in a certain way, or they don't communicate it in an effective way.
I feel like you should just pick up on it, though, based on their actions.
You have like very optimistic perspective that people just automatically pick it up. Okay, Albert, I'm like looking at you because like I expect you to pick up certain things, and it's been 10 years and you still haven't picked it up. So I don't know what shit you're going to say.
I don't know, man. Maybe lower your expectations.
Fucking no. No, do not lower your expectations.
All right, well, tell you what, let's move on before you go on a rant about how shitty I am. So,
how about you share what the love languages are?
All right, so there's 5. Okay, apparently, according to this website.
It's not apparently. There are 5 love languages.
I'm just saying this is probably one person's opinion on love languages, and there could be like a billion.
Just read it, man.
Okay. 1, acts of service. Ooh la la. You know
what is
talking
acts of
about.
service?
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. You gotta explain.
Okay. I mean, okay. The terms acts of service is pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, so it's doing something for someone else. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
Like vacuuming the house when they're too busy to vacuum the house.
Yeah.
Not cooking dinner for them because they're tired.
Yeah.
All right, receiving gifts for all the gold diggers out there.
Hey.
Or the sugar mommies and sugar daddies.
That's not. I'm very much anyway.
A little bit of love, you just gotta spend the money and buy them stuff. I don't know. Receiving gifts. Santa Claus. Spreading love.
Santa Elbert.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Next one.
3rd one, quality time. It's almost like you should maybe sit down once in a while and just hang out. But, of course, quality time might be different for people. Like, one couple might love playing video games together. That could be quality time. They could just be yelling at the TV screen for like an hour. And other people build panda puzzles together.
It's like uninterrupted time that you feel you're spending together.
Yeah, I guess so.
Being present in the moment.
Or just having fun. Just having fun together.
Yeah.
The 4th one, words of affirmation. This is like when somebody just constantly needs to hear that they are the best person on the planet.
That is a very inaccurate description of what words of affirmation is. Words of affirmations is just like they receive love by the words that people say.
I love you.
Yeah.
Receive
something that you can
words.
work on, actually, because one of my love languages is words of affirmation.
You are the greatest person.
Yeah, it doesn't work
met.
when you're being sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic right now.
Okay. We'll say.
I'm sorry, my voice is very monotone.
What's the last one?
Physical touch.
You're so weird.
Just holding hands and stuff. Nothing sexual, of course.
Super PG-13.
Yeah.
Literally looking at an old couple right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and old couples can't make babies anymore, so you know.
I mean, okay, this is okay.
I don't know
sometimes
why
they can.
Why
like there's
did they
many drugs that you can
this
take.
Photo of all things. What they should have chosen is just 2 young, energetic couples being all like, physical touch.
Yes.
Yeah, let's be realistic here, okay?
PDA, I guess. Like PDA is like physical touch.
Sure. And like sexual attraction, very important for a relationship to, you know, thrive.
Yeah.
And continue thriving.
Thriving, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for elaborating on the 5
Which,
love
by the way,
languages.
it's like really weird for me that in Japan they have these, I guess, emotional like AI bots
Yeah.
or like computer hologram, wife or girlfriends or whatever. Because I'm just like, dude, there's no physical touch, man.
Well,
Are
I
they
mean,
just so starved for emotional love that they're just
emotional
hey.
love is important. People can get lonely. You want that sense of companionship. And then I feel like if you're using Japan as an example, they have those sex dolls too. So they could get the emotional they could get the emotional
What are
connection.
you looking up?
And then it's news. I don't have to search for it. It's news. And then they have like sex dolls if they want that physical component. Why are you looking at me like that?
Why is your news so targeted for Japanese sex dolls?
This
for
was
physical
news
touch?
like a long time ago. You're the one who also, you know that they're sex dolls.
I'm not gonna admit to that.
Okay, so what are your love languages? Because you can have more than one.
Acts of service.
You can have more than one.
Acts of service.
What else?
Physical touch. Physical.
You just look really pervy right now.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not stay pervy when you say the words physical?
Okay, so
touch?
acts of service. So what would you consider acts of service for
Just
you
like-
personally from me?
I guess it'd be like one of those things where if I'm really tired and I don't want to cook, and so you just like pick up the slack and like cook for me that day, or like if you're really tired and you don't want to cook, then I'll cook.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So like small things where you're like, oh, here's like a glass of water, or like here's a snack.
Yeah.
Just like kind of seeing if that person's like super stressed out that they can't do the simple stuff or they forget to do the simple stuff, and you're just helping them like take care of themselves just by like doing it for them without asking.
Yeah. So like being conscious of what the other person needs without them even asking for it, or just like picking up, like, because in a relationship it's never 50-50, right? Like, so you have some days where you're feeling like 80%, and then you have some days where you're feeling 20%. So like I feel like an important aspect of a relationship is being able to pick up that slack, I guess, or like pick up that additional percentage on days where the other person isn't at that, like, is at their lower energy bar.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, like the goal, and I think it's very important where this cannot skew one way to like too far. Otherwise, I think the risk is always that somebody might feel like they're being taken advantage of, right?
Right.
Like in any relationship. So for me, it would be like very important that like it doesn't feel that way to a certain extent.
Like you're not being taken advantage of, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
like
it's like kind of, I guess for me, it would feel like very obvious if that was happening.
yeah.
But I guess for people that are just starting to date, or like they don't have experience with that, or like they don't really know what it's like to have just like actions speaking louder than words, or acts of service, then I guess it'd be one of the things to look out for.
Yeah. So like I flip it back at you, like how do you think you've shown acts of service with me?
Oh my god, am I being interviewed? Oh my god, is
No,
this an
because I'm curious
interrogation?
because and we'll talk about this as we go through this episode. Like my love languages are quite different than your love languages, and so the way I show you love, sometimes like you would accept it differently, or like not as well. You would still appreciate it, but it's not the same as, again, like me vacuuming the house, or like me grabbing a cup of water for you when you're busy at work, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah, grabbing a cup of water for me is like a really good example of that. Right?
yeah. So I'm curious, like in your perspective, because like I can't read your mind. So like in your perspective, like how do you think you have exhibited this particular love language to me? I want to know.
I feel like you gotta say something wrong.
No, just say it.
Okay, well today, you had to go to a doctor's appointment,
Yeah.
so I drove you there.
Oh.
I didn't have to.
That's true. You didn't have to.
Yeah.
That was very nice of you. You had a busy day.
And if you're cold, I'll bring you a blanket.
Yeah.
If you're like, bring me a cup of water, I'll bring you a cup of water. If you're like, I'm tired, then I'll just go and check the door and everything and then come back to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. And if you're like, put the laptop away, and I'll be like, do I have to? And you're like, yeah, put it away. And then I'll go like put it away and charge it and then come back. And there are some days where I'm like, my God, I've done this like every day for the past 6 months.
Well, also,
why can't she charge her own laptop?
well, also, you also take a lot of my photos and my videos, although sometimes reluctantly on your face.
Yeah, because sometimes I just want to enjoy that, you know? Like, I just want to enjoy walking around and not having... Which I think this is one of the biggest differences between you and me, is that you like taking photos and videos. And I'm like, I just want to experience this.
I think I've also grown as a creator to be more present. I mean, like, you know this because you met me like when I was starting out as well. Like, to be able to take my photos and videos fast, but also if I'm enjoying a moment, I kind of just do enjoy the moment and then snap a photo. I mean, I think you can do both.
Yeah, I'm also a very private person. I don't like sharing stuff.
Yeah, like everything he's talking about here is super private.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what's your other love language?
Physical touch.
I guess we don't really need to go into it.
We can go into it.
Do you want to? Okay, go for it. What are you going to say?
I like hugs.
I know you like hugs.
I like naked hugs.
I hope our parents don't listen to this.
Well, I mean, they're adults. They'll know what's up. They can join the podcast and we can go full Jada Smith
No,
on them.
thank you. That's like my nightmare. That would literally be my nightmare. Okay, so do you have any other love languages or just those two?
I think okay, so like receiving gifts, definitely not a big thing for me because I don't really care about gifts that much. Mm-hmm. Quality time is like, yeah, quality time's important. Words of affirmation, I never really care too much about. And I know that's important for you.
Yeah, I was going to say this is so interesting because my top 2 love languages is words of affirmation and gifts, which is in your hierarchy the least important. So
gifts are not important.
Hey, don't say that. It's important to me.
That's why.
See, this is an example of you not utilizing that words of affirmation muscle in your brain. Okay. Let me explain myself. So I have learned over the course of being alive, a human, that words of affirmation is it's like number 1 on my list. And that's also actually one of the points of tension between us sometimes when I'm unhappy with you is because I don't feel loved because I don't get words of affirmation from you. Or you say it in like a sarcastic way.
I'm sorry that my voice is like this.
No, it's not just that. It's just like when you say it, I feel like I have to almost like prompt you. Because like I'm someone who like the way I show love is by telling you like, you know, you're doing a really good job. Like I'm really proud of you. Or like you look really great today. And like you do that sometimes. But because it's number 1 on the way that I receive love, because it's so low on yours, like it does make me feel like sometimes like, oh, I wish you would say nice things more.
Like good morning, beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, words of affirmation also spread into like just like motivation or like, you know, just like comfort, etc., which you do. But again, it's like, how many times do I have to explain myself? It's the top of my list. I need to hear it more.
See, I feel like I am doing a lot better and saying a lot more of those things, but we still circle back to this thing where I'm not saying it enough.
Yeah, so you need to say more, basically. If you think you're saying enough, you need to do it more.
You look beautiful today.
Thank you very much.
You are a wonderful speaker, and I am very grateful to be having this conversation with you.
Now, see, I feel like you're just saying it because I'm making you say it.
Yeah, a little bit. But
your voice
your voice was also like going up a little bit when you were, so I'm like a little scared right now. You went kind of like, you know, like words of affirmation. Honestly, like, you gotta do it more. I'm scared.
Anyway, just so you know. And then the second on my list is gift giving. I am someone, I guess because I also grew up where when I receive gifts from people, it equals like thoughtfulness to me. Like when someone shows up and gives me a gift, like to me that's like, oh, someone actually spent time to think about what I would like, to go out and purchase a gift and then to wrap it. Which is why like I've always been someone who I take a lot of importance when I'm giving someone something. Like I take time to wrap it, which is why I like packaging so much, because all those aspects, it's like less of how much the gift is. Like I've given like, you know, like cheaper, more affordable gifts to like a little bit more expensive gifts, but like the point is not how much they are. It's the thought that went into like, oh, what would this person like, and then wrapping it, getting it, and then giving it. That brings me a lot of joy, and hopefully brings people a lot of joy as well. But then on the flip side, like if I don't like this person, I will never really spend. I can be very cheap and very generous. So I can be very generous to people that I like and love, and I can be very cheap with people that I don't like. So if you don't get anything from me, I probably don't like you.
Okay, maybe things not to say like out loud, you know, honestly.
But again,
shit, well, now the world knows.
Like if I don't spend money on you, I don't like you that much. But if I like buy you dinner and stuff, like I probably do like you. Like that to me is a gift.
You haven't bought me dinner for like months.
What are you talking about? I bought you a camping, like that is a gift. What do you think that is?
But that's not dinner.
I buy you dinner once in a while. Like don't be nitpicky. You just said that you don't care about gifts.
Okay, I'm just saying.
You really like the camping gift. You like your air mattress.
Yeah.
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 Although I'm kind of sure that you bought the air mattress out for yourself too.
What? Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
It is a very comfortable air mattress on Amazon, you guys.
I feel like the main thing for gifts for me though is that I don't like having useless stuff around the house.
Yeah.
Like it's just cluttery, you know? And when you receive a gift that's like funny, haha, but then you're like, okay, now the novelty's gone. What the heck am I going to do with this thing? Like there was one year where I received this alarm clock that had wheels on it.
That's from my mother.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny. I'm saying it's funny, okay? But the last thing I want to do in the morning is to run around and chasing this alarm clock, putting my life at risk, because what happens if I step on it and it's got wheels?
You just face plant. Maybe that was when we were dating, so maybe that's their way of being like,
oh, trying to get rid of this guy.
I hate this guy.
Like get this like kidding. Surfer dude voice.
I'm just kidding.
Asshole. But anyway, yeah, it's like that gift was. I don't think I ever like actually opened it from the box because I didn't want to deal with rolling around the alarm clock. But they did get me a popcorn machine, which is like pretty cool. I think I still have that somewhere.
Yeah, we have it in the cupboard.
We don't make it, but we could.
Well, like Christmas is my favorite time of the year because it's just like gift giving on steroids. Because I used to write a list for every single person that I cared about and what I wanted to get them, and then like dedicated a full day to go shopping for them and then wrapping for them. So like, wouldn't you think that that's almost like quality time or like acts of service? Just like the act of like thinking about someone, you know, going to get someone something, wrapping their gift.
Yeah, I guess. For me, Christmas is always just like spending time on the weekend.
Yeah.
Gifts, like for me, like my family, gifts are always kind of like what do you want and like what do you need kind of deal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, like I need this, or like I've been kind of looking at it for a while, so we already kind of like know in advance, you know, what they want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like we rarely go out of our way to be like, oh yeah, this would be like hilarious, haha. Like they might like this, and like just buy it.
Right. So I mean, like there's no right or wrong on like what love language is better than others. And I think like from this conversation too, it's just also how you grow up, right? Like what you're used to, like what your family is like, what your friends are like, and then that kind of determines how you receive and you give love. But I also think there is a beauty like in a relationship to be able to partake in each other's love languages and kind of open up, like, you know, like maybe this is a new way that I can show and like receive love. So when I give you gifts, because I've given you quite a few gifts over the years, or when I say like, you know, like, hey, you look really good today, or like, I'm really proud of you for blah, blah, blah. Like, do you feel loved, or are you just like, oh, this is just, another thing. Do you feel more loved when I give you a glass of water versus that?
The glass of water is definitely like more on point for me.
Yeah.
Like, because the gift is also, like if I actually need something or if I want something, I would just get it myself.
Yeah. No, but like what I'm saying is that we've been together for 10 years, so we have learned each other's love languages and try to like accommodate to, like I try to do certain things for you because I know that you would feel more love that way, even though it's counterintuitive to me because I'm like, I feel like I'm not doing enough because I don't receive love that way. But like, how do you feel knowing that, gifts is like pretty important on my list, or like words of affirmation is really important for me?
Yeah, I mean, I try with the words of affirmation. It's definitely not something I'm used to a whole lot.
Yeah.
And gifts I have a hard time with, like, thinking outside of the box on my own to figure out what you might like, because where my brain immediately goes is, does she need this? Like, will she benefit from this?
I always tell Albert, I was like, don't be practical with gifts for girls. Just, I want something pretty and shiny.
Wow. I mean, I say good morning, beautiful every single day. I
Okay.
roll over in the morning and I give you a kiss on the cheek, and then I will pet your head for like a few seconds, and then I will go and work. And then right when I finish my morning meetings, I'll run up to you and hug you. Unless I have like back-to-back 4-hour meetings, then those days usually suck. But I will run, and sometimes I'll make you coffee in the morning, and I'll ask how your day is at the end of the day, see what you've been up to, and if you need anything, then I'll help you out.
I think those are very sweet, but I don't think those are words of affirmation. Like, I think those are acts of service. When you like ask me like, do I need anything? How was your day, etc. I think that's acts of service. That's not words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is like, if I'm having a bad day, you'd be like, you're a strong person. Like, you've always gotten through this. So, like, this will be fine. Oh, you've done that in the past, but I'm just like creating a distinction between like what you're saying is acts of service in my perspective. It's not words of affirmation.
Right. I mean, there's been situations like that where you're stressed out and I'll be like, oh, like, don't worry about it. You got this kind of deal.
Yeah, after you say something sarcastic or a joke, and then you look at my face, and I probably rolled my eyes, and then you say something else. Yeah.
Just giving myself like a 2-second pause to suss out the situation.
So Albert does this a lot, where he'll say something to see what my reaction is, and then pivot depending on what my reaction is.
I'm practicing my adaptiveness.
But I also think, like we were just talking about, your love language is very highly determined from the family that you grew up with and your social situation. So I think it's safe to say that, like, if my love languages are words of affirmation and gifts, I think that also translates to my family. And, like, I think similar to your family as well, like, the way that your family receives loves, like, is probably similar to like how you receive love too, right?
Probably. I don't know. I never really thought about it too much. But I know with my family, like, gifts aren't like huge with us. We just do stuff for each other.
Yeah, exactly. So like acts of service versus like gifts. So yeah, and then your parents like to hug and stuff too. So
do they?
Yeah, they do. But I'm just saying that, like, I think that extends, like, when you're married too, like, it extends outside of your, like, outside of each other to your families, right? Like, I know for a fact that, like, with gifts with your family, it's like practical. It's like, it's more of like spending time together, doing stuff for each other. Whereas, like, for my family, I guess, like, I would also have the expectation that you would understand that, you know, words of affirmation do mean a lot to my family as well, because we're cut from the same cloth.
Huge cloth.
Huge.
Huge. Yeah, words are not a strong suit for me, but I will work on it. As I have for the past 10 years.
As long as I think as long as the both of us, or like both parties in the relationship, are willing to understand and adopt certain aspects to make the other person feel love. I think there's like always points of tension when people don't communicate with each other, and like they feel like they're not receiving love because there's no communication on how they want to receive love.
I mean,
right?
like, I would say think less on how you want to receive love and also think about how that other person shows love. Because if you expect, lots of words of affirmation, but then your partner just comes up to you, gives you a glass of water, pats you on the head like for 10 seconds, and then walks away with not a single word, they might still love you. Like,
no, I know, but like
boatload.
the point of this conversation that we're talking about is that yes, like we understand what each other's love languages are, but it's like, how can you show up for the other person, right? Like, I bring you glasses of water, I like rub your head, I scratch your back, etc., because I know it makes you happy. Not if I had my way, I would be buying you gifts, like small gifts, like every week.
Please
because
don't,
it's
my
fun.
wallet. No.
And then you say things like this that really annoy me.
I don't need small gifts.
I'm just saying, I just said if I had my way, right? So I'm just saying, like, for like it's a two-person,
Yeah.
it's a two-person dance. Like, both parties need to, do things that they think the other person needs, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what is a hilarious love language?
What, Elbert?
You ever been to a Greek person's party?
No.
If there's a nana, like
A nana?
a nona, I don't know, like a granny, their grandmother, their love language is like you're eating until you throw up.
Oh, that's like Asian culture too.
Uh-uh.
They like show you love by
No,
feeding
man.
you.
Greeks
Like,
are a whole other level. Of
well,
like
yeah, no,
messed up,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like you are legit throwing up, and then they're like, yeah. Are they
you're
good?
loved.
Are they good? It's just like, what the hell? I'm
I did
so
good.
unhappy with the amount of food I'm
You're
eating.
throwing up. I did good. Well, that's like similar. I believe you that Greeks are probably more intense in the Asian culture, but like in Asian families too, like a lot of times the way they show love is by feeding you a whole lot of food and asking you if you're hungry.
And then when you get fat, they point it out.
And then when you get fat, they tell you
hey,
you're
you're
fat.
getting a little round. Okay, thank you.
Or if you're skinny, they tell you you're too skinny. Anyway,
Yeah.
you can never make them happy.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about this for a little bit too long. And
I think he's
Oh.
tired.
Yeah, you told me to go to bed early today.
I'm
and now it's
sorry.
like
I'm sorry.
10:30.
I asked you if you wanted to do a podcast and you said okay.
Yeah, okay, it's my fault. Okay,
Yeah, it's your
got
fault.
it.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yeah,
do you want to do
thank
the
you.
outro this time?
I almost did the
You always
McDonald's
revert
song.
to the McDonald's.
It's just
You're
so
gonna get us in
catchy.
trouble.
I need to come up with a different tune. If anyone has a great tune, just send it our way.
Yeah.
Send it to Sam. You can find her on Instagram at Samantha Sito.
Thanks.
Is that your Instagram handle?
That is my Instagram
Okay,
handle.
cool.
How do you? Okay. Anyway,
Because
I'm
a
not
long
even gonna
time
dive
ago,
into
you
this.
had like something else, like Oda Samantha or something.
Oh, I had like Sam Sito Style or something stupid.
Yeah. So you had a lot. I
Yeah.
remember those old ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, goodbye. Have a good one. I'm heading out.
Thanks for tuning in, you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.